Good article, I thought, from Stephen Levy, once again writing for Medium, his interview with Bill Ford at CES, in which Bill Ford effectively says, hey, we're pivoting. The Ford Motor Company, which, by the way, was the most successful car company of 2015 in a year in which all the car companies did very, very well, admitting that it's not so much about cars anymore. Ford is, he says, Stephen asks, Bill, can I call you Bill? Is Ford attempting the biggest pivot of all time? And Bill Ford says, no question. No question. So Ford did announce, while they didn't announce the Google partnership, they did announce, for instance, a program to place sensors in motorcycles to map roads in West Africa to improve the routing of healthcare services. They may, in fact, get in the Uber and Lyft business. They have a lot of interesting things. And, they're kind of recognizing
their last week.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So when you mentioned Ford.
Yeah.
So Ron, I'm on this constant quest to see if I can't get the car I want.
Ron can help you do it. Ron can help you.
So I went and looked at the Lincoln MKC.
Ooh, nice. Nice car. And?
I don't know.
Are you ready for a Lincoln?
I haven't bought am I old enough? Yeah. I haven't bought a domestic car.
You are.
Since, thanks a lot. Since 1973. That was the last time I bought a U.S. car.
I was looking at the new Lincoln Continental. Because the Continental, I think it has the 2016 Lincoln Continental. It's really
right. So Ron, they all have Sync 3 with the Ford Sync 3, and Sync 3 works with
Sync 3 will do it. In fact, we got an email from one of our listeners who has, I think, an Escape, and he got an email from Ford. He's going to get an upgrade in March.
Wow.
To support Android Auto.
Yeah, so I'm actually working on an article that kind of compares infotainment systems from all the different car vendors. I've had a stream of vehicles.
Oh, fun for you.
To make this happen, yeah. And the level of just complete misunderstanding or incompetence from these car companies when it comes to software, it's so bad.
They shouldn't be writing their own software.
I just had a Chevy Impala, and the software on it looked like a Chinese GPS from eBay from like 1999. I'm talking like the phone icon is like a fully rendered 3D phone with like a chrome ring around the square, and it looks like it just all looks it looks so bad, and it works horribly, and nothing like scrolls smoothly.
So there's an argument, though, for Android Auto or Apple's CarPlay, right?
Oh, these car companies, like, you're not a software company. Don't make software.
Don't do it.
So, Ron, it's worth it to try to get Android Auto?
Huh?
Hell yes.
Try to get Android Auto?
Is it worth it? Oh, yeah, anything. Yeah. Android Auto, CarPlay, anything.
But in I think in almost every case, if you get Android Auto, you'll get CarPlay. It's just...
No.
No?
No, it is separate. Car companies will support one and not the other. It's all over.
But some cars do both, right? Because
yes.
I'm not going to buy a car that will not do both because I use different phones.
Yeah, and some car companies have one and have promised to ship a software upgrade to update.
Ford said it would do both, I believe.
Okay, so the favorite one I've run into so far is Honda, which bases their car infotainment system on Android 4.0.
Oh.
From 2011.
Oh.
And it has the stock Android browser in it, which you can just use. So, Chrome gets a security update every couple months or every month. And imagine using a browser on the internet from 2011 and the security issues that this thing has, that they just sell. Like it's 2016 and they sell software from 2011 in these cars. Awesome. The car companies, they are not equipped to be hardware companies in any fashion. And Ford's just as bad. I had a Ford Escape. The whole system looks like it's a settings page from like it's just white with blue icons and nothing else. And it's slow and weird.
So what are you
going
to recommend, Ron?
Get something with Android Auto. I mean, it's all they're all bad, and even if you try to like really use this stuff, the mapping situation, there are no good map vendors out there. I mean, the two best
I can't find it right now. There, a VW executive, a company we really want to trust right now, went on saying that, these Silicon Valley companies don't know how to do this. They can't do mapping and all this as well as we can, and that's why we're not going to use Android Auto and stuff. We're going to not push it in every car. No, your systems suck. Listen to Ron, people.
Yeah, and the worst is the voice commands, where like on a phone you can say navigate to. You can say navigate to Best Buy on your store on your phone, and then on these car systems you say navigate to Best Buy and nothing happens, and then it will say navigate, and then you have to tell it the city, and then you have to or you have to tell it you want a point of interest first, then you tell it the city,
right?
Then you tell it.
But there's a reason for that, Ron. They're not online. They're doing that all with their internal computer. Whereas your phone is smart enough to be sending your voice up to the server, and it can then do a lot better job.
Some of them tether to your phone and work online. The worst is Chevy, which has a 4G modem in the car. So the car is a big hotspot with AT&T. So your car has a monthly bill to get data access, and this is the kind of misunderstanding that car companies have, where they say we need to get internet in the car, so let's call AT&T, and it's like nobody wants that. Just tether to my phone.
Right, I already have internet. You don't need to. Yeah, my Audi has 3G
understand.
on T-Mobile, and they're going to have LTE next year. And you're right. It should all be through the phone, frankly.
Right, they just don't.
I'm going to keep asking Ron, what's the best path to put in? Which manufacturer has the best structure to use Android Auto?
They're all about, if you can find something that supports Android Auto, they're all about the same, because the car system turns off and Android Auto just kind of takes over. But I know Honda will do it, and that's pretty good.
Honda's a good choice. That's a nice car.
You can get a relatively nice Honda.
Yeah.
With all of this, they have some cool like automated driving stuff where it'll do radar guided cruise control and kind of stay within the painted lines as you drive along. That's probably been the best one I've seen so far. As terrifyingly insecure as the operating system is, it seems to be the least awful. But it's just all bad right now, and I don't know.
Well, that's why I feel like CarPlay and Android Auto are really the way to go.
Yeah, and even then you have to be careful about the hardware, because the Chevy that I looked at had a resistive touchscreen.
Oh, yick.
I'm talking about you could go to the settings and go to align touchscreen, and they put the little X's on the screen, and you have to poke in each corner and in the center. Because all of the gear they use is from like 2011. Because car companies, they don't understand technology. They move at a snail's pace. It's horrible.
Yep. But look at so this is from Android's Android Auto website. I mean, these are the...
Oh, but it's BS.
Yeah, these are the badges that they say will be using Android Auto, and it's pretty much everybody.
And the worst, too, is you go into... on Audi, when I was thinking about an Audi...
Audis are very nice.
I went into 3 dealers, and I say Android Auto, and they'll say Android Audio.
Oh, Lord.
So, when are you getting it? They don't know anything. I went online to Twitter and said, what's the deal? And they gave me a bad answer. I tried to go to the PR department of the company, never got an answer.
It's like they don't really know.
These dealers are all idiots about it.
And I think that attitude extends all the way up to the top of the company and the people making this software.
It's
just nobody there understands technology from top to bottom. And
what about the Tesla media experience? You'd think that'd be pretty good.
I tried a Tesla too.
Is it better?
And no, Tesla is at least interesting. Tesla is at least interesting because it's a big, giant television.
Yeah, it's a 17-inch screen.
In the car thing. But no, it's still this software. I say it feels like ATM software.
Yeah, that's about right.
Where like it is a computer, but it was never designed to make anybody happy or look nice or just work well. It's just not good. It's still not from a software company that makes and when you look at any computer, there is a monopoly on computer interfaces. Well, not a monopoly, but there's 3 companies you can buy a computer interface from. It's Apple, Google, Microsoft, and that's it. Right. Nobody else really makes software like operating systems. You know, if you want a laptop or a phone or a tablet, or it's only those 3 companies.
Yeah, I don't want the
else makes
Ubuntu car.
good software. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these cars do run Linux, and
they're running QNX. Many of them.
they run QNX, Linux, Android. A lot of cars actually run Android.
I don't want Android 4.0 in my car. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I do not.
Well, one of the things in my article is Google is going to make a real version of Android for cars, where like it's the operating system that runs in the car hardware, as opposed to Android Auto, which is just an application that takes over the screen. This is actually
deals.
What if? Okay, I got a solution for you. What if you got a car that didn't have anything, and you put in a aftermarket Android Auto solution? Have you tried those?
Oh, like a head
Pioneer's head
They're
unit?
really expensive, and they kludge up the car.
Yeah, and they're resistive touchscreens again most of the time.
Yes.
But you're talking about $1,000 for that radio.
Yeah.
If your car can even support that, I mean, half the time, step one is get a hacksaw and cut your radio out of the car. But that's why I want to see this Google Car operating system. It's in their the Google Play documents. Car is an operating system form factor next to TV, watch, phone, and tablet. So there are actually rules for device manufacturers on how to build a car with Android built into it.
Okay, here you go. This is what you do. This is the Pioneer AVIC 8100 NEX. It is a capacitive touchscreen. It does Android Auto and CarPlay. It's only $1,200.
I know, amazing, isn't it?
But you might be able to, it's 7 inches. You might be able to get a deal on a car without any kind of head unit.
And see, this is another company that does not understand technology because what kind of processors in that?
Oh,
How
probably
much
not
memory
enough.
does it have?
Yeah.
How much? No, you won't even find that on the Amazon page.
Right.
They don't. They don't think it's important because they don't know what any of those numbers mean.
Right. Right. What does that mean? It's 4 volts, 800 by 480 display.
Right. No processor. Is it a Snapdragon? Is it
right? But isn't it the case with Android Auto that the processor is really the phone more than the unit?
Yes. Yeah, but you're still buying a car head unit that runs some kind of operating system.
It has Pioneer software.
It has some kind of some kind of.
Look at this. This is awesome. It has a remote control you could put right on the dash.
I remember that.
That'll really.
That thing still feels like it's from the 90s.
What the hell? This is not what you want in your car.
So you don't have to lean forward. You can
just tape that to the steering wheel.
Yeah, that's it. That's the other bummer with that. That's not going to integrate with your car. Android Auto and CarPlay and all that stuff, the steering wheel buttons will work.
Yeah.
And there's usually a microphone.
So what should Jeff do? He should just give up and get a car next year.
So it sounds like it's a Ford.
Get a Ford or a Honda. Get something with car, like it's
Ford
all
with
going to
Sync
suck.
3. Yeah.
If you follow the smartphone trajectory, I feel like we're in the Windows Mobile phase right now, where just every piece of software you buy is going to suck. So
I kept my last car for 11 years. And so I don't know if I'm going to keep this one for 11 years.
By the way,
I'll be really old then,
that is the average in the United States. The average age of a car on the road in the United States is 11 years. You're right in there.
1,000 miles.
But that's the problem is there's the long design cycle, 3 to 5 years of a car, and then people keep it for 10 years.
Cycle. Yes.
Yeah.
They should
no
be
technology. You don't use any personal computer or consumer electronic technology that's 15 years old.
And they would make such money for me. I would swap out the consumer electronic experience in the car, every year. Just like I do phones, right? They'd make a fortune from an aftermarket within their own.
I'm going to get the Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
That'll have.
That looks kind of nice.
That looks pretty cool.